In this video, we're going to cover the topic of how many healing sessions do you need? I had to do a video on this because I get asked this so much. So in this video, I'm going to go over the guidelines that I give my clients when they ask me that question, which is inevitable. I'm going to give you the kind of regimen that I recommend depending on what their issues are that they're coming to me with. And we're also going to go over some advice that I have for people who want healing oh so much, want to buy packages, they want to do all the healing, but they can't afford it. Stay tuned. So how many healing sessions do you need in order to get the result you want? Well, the answer is ultimately up to you and your trusted practitioner. But in this video, I'm going to give you the same guidance that I give my clients when they ask me. What we actually want to accomplish with the healing session is to create a new normal. A new normal in your mind, a new normal in your physical body, in your emotions, in your etheric body. In order to create a new normal, we need to establish a pattern. In physics, 3 is the smallest number required to create a pattern. With a little digging, you can find the number 3 so pervasive throughout history, in all cultures. And why 3? Well, it's short, powerful, and memorable. In physics, you have Newton's 3 rules of motion. In music, you have the musical triads, the 3-note building blocks of musical harmony. In photography and art, you have the principles of composition, which is basically the rule of thirds. And in religion, of course, you have the concept of the triple deity, as in the Maiden Mother, Crone, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You get the idea. 3 seems to be the magic number here. I tell my clients that 3 sessions, anywhere from 10 days to 3 weeks apart, has a resounding effect on the body. Your body will begin to remember what it's like to feel calm and safe and secure. It'll enhance your sense of authenticity, who you really are, and you'll start to really trust your inner knowing. And it is all downhill from there, in a good way. So my recommendations are as follows. If you're coming in for stress, 1 to 3 sessions. If it's just general stress, my coworker bugs me type of stress. If you're coming in for stress that has manifested itself somehow in the physical in the form of some disease, well, then I would suggest at least 3 sessions, maybe 6, maybe 9. If you're coming in for stress that's resulted in physical disease due to some toxic upbringing or childhood traumas or past lives or ancestral issues, well, expect for this to be something that you do at least 9 times. I like the gym analogy. Think about how out of shape people don't have this expectation that they're going to go to the gym a few times and then magically be in shape. I do recommend waiting at least a week before your next Reiki treatment, especially if it's your first time. And it's not just because you can't handle, all this powerful energy. You're new and so you're weak. This is not meant to demean anybody. It's just the truth that new things come up to the surface. New things come to your conscious awareness. And you want to make changes and ground things in your physical life before you get new information and have to ground that. You just don't want to overload your system with new information and new light. So just like a bodybuilder builds muscle in between workouts, right? They're not at the gym building muscle actively while they're lifting weights. That muscle gets built actually during the resting phase. Well, healing is the same way. The integration is where the healing happens. That's why it's so important. Believe me, I would love to tell you that it's a one and done deal and 1 session is all you need, but that's hardly ever the case. How fast you heal is determined by a whole host of things, right? Like, what is the root cause of the issue? Is it stress? Is it stress from someone at work that you're having a negative reaction to? Is it because you have a childhood wound or an ancestral trauma or, some kind of past life issue. It's determined by how receptive you are to the healing energy, what kind of habits you have in your personal life that might affect the integration, who else you have in your personal life that might have an energy cord to you. And I'll do some cord cutting, and then, even though I say don't call that man, you call the man. And oh God. I do want to mention a case where someone was one and done, and she came in with some physical disease in conjunction with some serious childhood trauma. I was not expecting this to be completely healed in one session, and neither was she, but it happened. I mean, she went from having her test results say one thing to her test results say something else. And she went back 3 months, and they were still 6 months. They're still to this day. I mean, now I don't feel comfortable taking complete credit for that, even though I was her healing facilitator. I think that she was really receptive. She was really ready. She had tried everything before coming to me. She was really receptive. She knew me on a personal level, and she trusted me. So there wasn't this sense of me having to convince her that healing was possible. She was just ready. I mean, she was tired, and she was just like, okay, fine, I'll try this. And it worked. And it will also depend on the skill of your practitioner. There are practitioners, such as myself, that use Reiki as a foundation, but then I bring in other modalities as well. I'll throw in some angel healing. I'll throw in some pranic healing. I got the crystal light bar. I got the amethyst mat. You know what I mean? Like, I throw the kitchen sink at people sometimes. This advice, though, is geared toward people who are focusing primarily on Reiki healing. We never want to rush the healing journey, because oftentimes it's the lessons we learn, the epiphanies we have, the skills that we acquire during the healing process that not only help us to maintain the healing and to stay healed, but that we can set examples for the rest of humanity. Now, I have some advice for you, and I'm sure we've all been there, where you really want to invest in yourself, in the healing sessions, but you've just reached a place where you just can't afford it. It feels unsafe. It just doesn't feel grounded. Well, in those instances, what I tell people is, if you can't have it, you don't need it. And I truly, truly mean that. But what's really needed in these cases is grounding. And that is free. Grounding can look like beginning some kind of exercise program, just going for walks, putting your feet into the earth, petting a dog, cooking for yourself, cleaning out your closets, organizing, paying your taxes, anything that affirms your ability to be present, and that where you are matters, and that you matter, and that your physical body and your money matters. Maybe it's about you making sure that you actually allocate money to the right things before you do healing sessions. Because if you do a healing session and you're not feeling really good about it, that's going to hinder your ability to receive the energy. So don't do it. I never recommend people getting healing sessions if they don't feel comfortable doing it financially. Well, I hope that was helpful in answering that question. I have some exciting news that I want to share with any aspiring Reiki students, and that is a free e-guide that I've created for finding the right Reiki healing teacher for you. It's really important to find a legit training with a legit teacher, and to really look and see what all of your options are, because there are many these days. So I created this free course. The link is down below. You can just go ahead and click it. It'll take you to my website where there is a pop-up, and fill it out. You get your ebook. And some more exciting news, I am going to be hosting a Reiki training retreat and certification in Ireland and in Scotland this summer. It's going to be late summer. So if you're interested at all in that, you can check out the link below. It will take you right to the sign up page where you can get some more information. Please subscribe if you found this information useful, and like it if you liked it. If you didn't like it, sorry. I'm sorry.